Greetings. Okay, so in this video, we are going to go through the process of connecting ChatGPT plus the chat.openai.com side of things. We're going to connect that to publish a post in WordPress. And so here I have a fresh installation of WordPress installed on my server. This is going to be our playground for all things related to WordPress and Zapier in this series. And if you take a look on the back end, I have already added the Zapier for WordPress plugin. And this plugin, when you add it, you have to make sure that you add the official Zapier plugin, the one that is by the author Zapier. And this plugin will allow you to authenticate your Zapier account with your WordPress site. In Zapier, if you go to My Apps, Add Connection, you can add a connection to your WordPress by hitting that Add Connection button, and you'll just go through the steps for authenticating it. But you want to have this plugin active first in WordPress, then come in and add a connection with Zapier. That's really important because you're going to need the credentials over here to connect over here. I also recommend that you're going to have to connect it with a user. I highly recommend creating a user named Zapier or something like that is a special user specifically for Zapier. Do not use your own personal login credentials. Do not use your own personal account. So that's just my suggestion. As you can see here, we don't have any posts inside of the WordPress already. And what we're going to do is we're going to have ChatGPT generate an article and then post it. It's going to get posted on our WordPress automatically. So with everything connected, with WordPress connected to Zapier, the first thing that we want to do is let's create a table. This table is really important because it can be used for accessing the post data and doing all sorts of things with it. It can be like in the middle of all kinds of different actions and zaps. So I really like to use the tables. So we're going to the flow is going to be, we're going to have ChatGPT write the article and then post it inside of a table. And then we're going to have a zap that anytime a record comes into here, it is going to automatically post it onto the WordPress. So now we could do this straight from ChatGPT to WordPress, but in the future, we're going to use this table for other things. So let's go ahead and get it out the way. So right here, you see, I just have basic aspects of the post. I have the post title, the post categories, and the post content. And we're not going to deal with the featured image in this video. In the next video or one of the future videos, we'll deal with the featured image because we're going to have AI generate that image also. So, but for right now, let's just get this article in there. So the first thing we're going to do is go to GTP4. Let's go to plugins, hit the drop down, and we're going to enable Zapier. If you have not already done so, enable the Zapier plugin. You can follow the first video in this series for the steps for getting plugins enabled and Zapier active. So after you've got Zapier selected, you'll see the icon right up here at the top. That's how we know we have Zapier selected. So the first thing we're going to do, let's get the link to the page that is required for us to put our actions. So I'm just going to ask ChatGPT. I'll say, please provide me with the link to add Zapier actions. So we just ask, it shall be granted. So you notice that ChatGPT used the Zapier plugin in order to get that link, and then it provides that link back to us. So we can just click this link, it'll open up a new tab. Now, something that's really important to recognize is that OpenAI, we're officially on the Zapier page, and there is an OpenAI logo in the upper left-hand corner, which indicates that this is a relationship between Zapier and OpenAI that is pretty significant. We're going to continue to get a really close level of connectivity between Zapier and OpenAI. So this tool is definitely the right direction to go in if you're interested in extending ChatGPT for your own applications and needs. With that being said, now let's go ahead and create a new action. So we hit this little new action button. We're going to search for tables. And let's look for Zapier tables, create records. So we're going to create a record. And the table ID, we're going to select a specific value for this field. And we're going to use WordPress content. That's the table we've got set up for it. And for each field, you always have the option to do not include a value for this field, have AI guess a value for this field, or set a specific value for this field. So we're going to select have AI guess a value for the post title because we want AI to create the post title. We want AI to create the category, or you could select a specific one yourself, but we'll have AI create the category and the post content. So we'll have AI create that as well. That's going to be the actual article. Now there are more options that you can configure, but we're not going to worry about those for right now. We'll just stick to the basics and enable action. Make sure that you've got your action turned on. So it should be green like that. And now, so first of all, notice how we don't have anything in our table right now. And so now let's go ahead and generate an article and have ChatGPT put it inside the database tables. All right, there we go. So now it's going to use Zapier, and it is checking the capabilities. Okay, so let's Okay, so now that ChatGPT has prepared the action to run, ChatGPT will always give you a confirmation action when you do it from this end. If you do it straight from like all zaps, then there's not going to be a confirmation. But because of it coming through ChatGPT, he's always going to give this confirmation. And then you can edit if you want to, but basically they're showing that this is going to go in the post title, this is going to go in the categories, this is going to go in the content. And if everything looks good, we just go ahead and run the action. And if we come over here, you see it's now in the database. So here it is in the database. So now we can use this for setting up our Zap to post to WordPress. So I'm just going to let this finish running. Okay, there we go. So now we can use this to set up our action to post to WordPress. So I'll just close this out. I'll tell ChatGPT did good. And now let's go ahead and set up our Zap. So here I am in our Beyond the Prompt folder, and we're going to create a new Zap. For our trigger is going to be tables. Our event is going to be when this gets triggered when a new record is added to a table. We select our table ID, which will be the WordPress content. Let's test the trigger. All right, so we see the title, category, and description. Content that was generated. So right now you can see that we don't have any posts in here. I'll go ahead and continue. And we're going to put WordPress. I'm already signed in, so we're going to create a post. The post type, we'll make it posts. The title will be the title that comes from the database table. The content will be the content that comes from the database table. The categories will be the categories that come from the database table. And hit continue. So we have all of this prepared now. Let's test the action. Okay. So it got sent to WordPress. Let's refresh. So here it is. Let's check this. Let's make sure that we made it published. Status, let's make it published. Continue. I'm going to delete this. Let's retest the action. All right, so let's come back over here, refresh, and here we go. If we hit view, we now have this post over here. So let's go back to posts, and now let's publish this Zap, and then let's let the whole process go through by itself. First, I'm going to rename this to DB2WP. All right, so we'll name that DB2WP. And so now we have both of these Zaps here. So now this is our current record in the database. We've got one post in the database, in the WordPress. So now I'm going to create a brand new chat. Let's start a brand new chat. Let's go to GTP4. Make sure we've got Zapier enabled. And then let's just say all right, there we go. Let's see what happens. So you can see there's the categories, there's the title, there's the content. Okay, so there we go. So now we have to approve it. So we'll go ahead and click here to approve it. This is our prepared action. The title, The Importance of Blockchain Technology in Today's World. And here is the article. We hit run. Let's look in our database and we'll see it come in. There it goes. So you see it's record number 2. And now that it has hit this database, it's going to be over here shortly. And here we go. The importance of blockchain technology in today's world. We hit view and here it is. So that is one way of publishing straight from ChatGPT into WordPress